Tommy, initial reaction to that?
It's another point on the board. Difficult game. Not a great game to watch it in the field, but again, pitch plays a lot of part in that. I thought both teams tried to win the game. And two very different looking teams, I thought, in terms of physicality. They were massive, huge, and we knew that there was an issue for us, or going to be a bit of an issue for us in set plays, but I thought we dealt with them on the whole very, very well. I just said to the lads there, this club will not get relegated because of the way they get set up, certainly since I've come in the building, certainly since the time I've come in the building, but it'll not be because of tactics and shape or anything like that. It'll be because they're not good enough footballers, and that's it. In physicality and fitness is part of that. You know, people look from the outside and think, oh, they're a full-time football club. The footballers are kidding themselves if they all think they're full-time footballers. They're not. They don't look like full-time footballers, and they can't play 90 minutes like full-time footballers. So until we improve the infrastructure behind that and give them the platform to train and to be physically prepared in the manner that a professional footballer is, I won't be calling them full-time footballers.
That puts a bit of pressure on those guys, doesn't it?
No, not really, because I give them a task every time we play, and I know they're capable of what I'm asking them to do. And I know what I ask them to do will give them a foothold in the game. And I can't think of a game yet that we've played since I've been here that we haven't had that platform to go and win a game from. So what I would say is, if I looked at the videos of the games before I got in, and these were out of games before you got into them sometimes, so from that point of view there has been a change. Have we got that winning mentality, winning formula? Obviously not, because if we did, the chances we've created tonight, or the type of chances we've created tonight, you have somebody in that secure box busting a gut or breaking his nose or breaking somebody else's nose to get in there and score that goal. So, you know, I know where the issue lies, but I can't fault them for their effort and their application. I think everybody who was here tonight will see that. Like I said, it wasn't an absolute spectacle to watch in terms of football, but I didn't expect it to be. But it certainly keeps us in the hunt.
And it's just that lack of quality, isn't it, in certain areas?
Like I said, the timing of the moments that came possibly to the wrong people who maybe aren't quite at the level, or they came to people who, in my opinion, can play great for 45 minutes and then they fall out of it a little bit because of their fitness and their physicality. And that's where Woking were better than us. They were physically stronger and faster, and we didn't have anybody really, probably other than Josh Coulson, who dominated their individual battles. And that's because he's played 500 games in the Football League and the National League. So from that point of view, what I'm talking about beforehand is just proven in that statement there.
So I suppose a clean sheet against a physically good side is a positive.
Yeah, I mean, look, everybody was sort of a little bit on the downer after Saturday's game when we conceded 2 goals, but I've just seen in there that Notts County were winning 3-1 at Solihull this evening and drew 3-3. So for us to go there and score 2 goals ourselves and then come here and keep a clean sheet is great, is a massive positive. I'll only talk about positive stuff to them in there. Obviously the 1 or 2 things I'll say to you might be a little different, but ultimately the group are doing what they can do. There are lads who I would like to be in the team, but they can't be in the team because they're not physically capable of being in it at the moment. And unfortunately, when that happens to the degree it has with us, that is because they're not physically well enough prepared from the time that I came in the building.
It was a game of few chances. Is that what you expected before the game started?
Yeah, like I said, it was one of them where my biggest concern was probably set pieces, and I was disappointed at the beginning of the game when they had a flurry of corners. But in fairness to Gold, I thought he was excellent at set pieces against. If he could land on the ball like that in the other box at corners, we would have a 20 goal a season striker. But that's not the case. But I'm grateful for the fact that he keeps sending it out of our box.
As far as the number of games remaining go, and the issues you've got with how you'd like to stamp your pattern on everything, do you think time has run out for the season? No,
not at all. Well, how many's left? 14 games left? 14 or 13? 13. No, there's 14 or 13 or 14 games left. Yeah, there's plenty enough time. Look, I have targets in my head. Have we reached them? No. But have we reached them by much, or have we missed them by much this week? No. Because you lot give us no chance to get anything at Solihull, and we got a point. The fact that we got another one tonight means we got 2, but you probably thought we would win tonight, or could win tonight. So we're probably a point behind where we might have been. There's a long way to play out, and I genuinely believe we are preparing as best we can with the group that we've got. And I know we're going to every game with a chance of winning it, and that's the way I have to approach it.
Is it step by step as well? I mean, first of all, let's try and get Weymouth, and then set a stall a little bit higher than that. Is that a sort of target that you have?
Not really. I don't really look at the table. I couldn't even tell you who's above Weymouth, but I know they're above us. So from that point of view, maybe yes is the answer to the question. I don't look much further than that. All I do know is I have a feeling there'll be a certain amount of points required, and that is not an unachievable target for us at this moment. So from that point of view, as far as I'm in, we're well in the race.
Is there any light at the end of the tunnel as far as injuries are concerned and players who currently aren't available?
My concern is not only the lads who are already injured and not available, it's the lads who have got into the team recently are in exactly the same boat as them, that they haven't played enough football before being here, therefore they're likely to get injured by playing game after game after game. So I'm not really one, I think I said this earlier in my tenure, I'm not really one to change the team a lot if I can help it, but ultimately I'm going to have to change the team near enough game to game, I think, because of the fragility or the physical state of some of the lads.
Is that anything to do with how much training they do?
Not enough. Yeah. Basically, at the beginning, it's like if you want to drive your car to Glasgow, you don't put 20 quid in. These days, you put 120 quid in. So, from that point of view, that's basic. That's the best analogy I can give you. There's not enough groundwork being done to be classed as full time, in my opinion, both physically and, mentally preparing a group of players who've not played at the level in their lives. Some of them, or most of them. And certainly not knocked out 35, 40 games in a season at this level. So that's where I think they're a little underprepared.
I know you're reluctant to make any comments about what happened here before, but what you've inherited, how fit for purpose was it?
Well, they would have got relegated, wouldn't they? If they'd have carried on doing what they're doing, if we didn't change what we were doing, we wouldn't have changed the results. Now, whatever people think of me or think of the style of play we're doing at the moment, whatever, the points per game average is going up, and that we've got to carry on doing that. I genuinely feel it can be better. I think if we do get the guys back, the ones who you might say we're ahead of the guys playing at the moment, back as well, so we've got more to choose from, because at the minute it's like 1 or 2 missing out. That means 6 or 7 are injured, and that's a hell of a lot of numbers to be at this level of football with the amount of bodies we have, considering the profile of each player. There's not many in there that can come and do 15, 20 games, but that's what they're being tasked to do. So, that's where we are.
Given that you need points, do you regard this as 1-1 or 2 loss?
Well, I'll always look at the positive in the morning. At this moment in time, I look at this as more 2 drop than I did on Saturday. Yeah. If we'd have been 2-0 down and drawn 2-2, you guys would have been really buoyant and saying, oh, what a fantastic result. But it was a fantastic result anyway. They were a top 6 side, and we were very much complimented by their manager in how we approached the game and what they had to do to get their point. And we actually could have won it at the end of the game. So, like I said, if I'm being completely honest, most people would have expected us or hoped that we'd have got 3 points this week, but we got 2. So we're only, if that happens all the time, it won't be a million miles away. Well, I think we'll need more than that, but I can see us doing it.
So tonight?
Positive, absolutely positive.
But 1 points lost
it's again, no, you never lose points because you never have them in the first place. So from that point of view, it's a point gained. It's another point on the total. So that means it's a point nearer the target.
If you had your full squad available, and I doubt many managers have ever had that, have they really?
Yeah.
How much different would it be for you in performances and results if you had all the players you've got in your squad available to you?
I think the mix of what we've brought to the club and the better ones that are here from the beginning, I think that's a good blend. I think there's a good blend. My answer to your question would be, we'd probably win more games. But what I will say is, and I give credit to the lads who played tonight and Saturday and more recently, who maybe has started to feel that they weren't going to be part of it. I cannot fault their application. I think they've given me everything they've got, and if that falls short in quality, then it's not really their fault. They didn't hold a gun to anybody's head to bring them to the football club, but they're trying the best they can, and I can't ask them for any more than that, really.
scoring, especially here, more than away,
Yeah.
is proving a big problem. Is there any chance of you bringing anyone else in?
Yes, I've said this all along. If the right one comes along, then I would bring him in. And I've been close on a couple of occasions, but it hasn't materialised for whatever reason. Usually it's because they're at another football club and that football club doesn't want to let them go. So the answer to your question is the search is ever ongoing, and it will continue to do that. If I feel like I'm bringing somebody to improve us, I would do that, and I would try to do that.
When does it get to the point where you throw total caution to the wind in order to obviously try to stay up?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's obviously no good us taking no points in a game, so I think we're a little early in proceedings for that. But I understand what you're saying. I think that's a way down the road, if I'm honest. But it might come to that. I hope it doesn't, but it might come to that. The trouble when you do that, if you're playing against teams, wherever they are in this league, there's not many teams in this league that if you throw caution to the wind with the group of players we have, you get walloped. So from that point of view, I don't like getting walloped at all at anything. So I don't want to be throwing much caution and much wind very soon.
Can we go back to your very first comment about Notts County?
Mm-hmm.
Have you got anything to say? There are two rumours, and honestly, I don't think anything that's come from the media. You've had no issues with Michael wanting to go, or you wanting him to go?
None whatsoever inside the football club. Not. I would never take a comment on social media seriously anyway, because I think the whole world lives by that now, and it's so wrong. I can tell you that from personal experience, both myself and my family. And so from that point of view, it's nonsense as far as I'm concerned. If there was any contact officially from the football club to football club, I would know about it because I'm the manager. I'm sure the chairman would have told me. So as far as I'm concerned, Michael's captain the side. When he's fit and well, he's been in the side. So from that point of view, let's draw a line under that one.
Yeah, happy to do so. Millie's fault. No, it wasn't.